Welcome to today's news discussion. I'm Sonia.
And I'm Simon. We'll be covering several key business stories that have emerged recently.
Let's start with the news that Google has put limits on Meta's use of its Gemini AI models. The Financial Times reports that this decision came after Meta sought more computing capacity than Google could provide.
That's interesting. So Meta was looking to expand its AI capabilities, but Google wasn't able to meet that demand. What does this mean for Meta's AI development?
The reporting suggests that Meta will have to look elsewhere for the computing power it needs. This could potentially slow down their AI projects or force them to find alternative providers.
And what about the impact on Google? Does this affect their business significantly?
The article mentions that several other Google clients have also been affected, though to a lesser extent. It seems Google is managing its capacity constraints carefully.
So why does this matter? Is it just about these two companies, or is there a broader implication?
This story highlights the growing demand for AI computing power and the challenges big tech companies face in meeting that demand. It has implications for the entire AI industry.
That makes sense. The AI infrastructure is becoming a critical component for many businesses. Let's move on to another story. A helicopter belonging to Saudi Aramco crashed in Ras Tanura, killing 14 people on board.
Yes, the Saudi press agency reported that the crash occurred on Sunday and the cause is currently unknown. Aramco is a major player in the global oil market, so any incident involving them is significant.
Absolutely. Have there been any statements about the potential cause of the crash or the impact on Aramco's operations?
The initial reports indicate that investigations are underway to determine the cause. Aramco has resumed crude oil loadings, suggesting that operations are continuing despite the incident.
That's reassuring. Let's discuss another story. Firmus Technologies has signed a strategic partnership with NVIDIA to provide more cost-effective access to AI computing power for emerging AI firms.
Right. The deal involves Firmus buying NVIDIA infrastructure and selling NVIDIA-powered cloud services to AI-native customers. This partnership aims to make AI computing more accessible and affordable.
So what's the significance of this partnership? How does it change the landscape for AI startups?
The partnership is expected to earn NVIDIA product revenue and a share of cloud revenue. More importantly, it addresses the growing need for affordable AI computing resources.
That's a great point. The cost of AI computing is a significant barrier for many startups. By making it more cost-effective, Firmus and NVIDIA are potentially democratizing access to AI technology.
Exactly. And it's not just about the cost, it's also about the scalability. Firmus plans to deploy 170,000 GPUs in Indonesia by 2028, which is a massive infrastructure investment.
Wow, that's a huge number. It shows the scale at which AI infrastructure is being planned and executed. Let's switch to a report from Deloitte about India's debt market.
According to Deloitte's State of Financial Services in India report, India's debt market is not equipped to finance the country's next phase of economic growth. The report calls for structural reforms to improve liquidity, price discovery, and participation.
That's a significant statement. What specific reforms are being suggested?
The report emphasizes the need for market-driven interest rates and making domestic currency markets more appealing to global investors. This would help bridge the growing capital demand gap.
So India's aiming for a 7.3 trillion economy by 2030. How does the current state of the debt market impact that goal?
The report highlights that the debt market is currently ill-equipped to fund India's ambitious economic growth targets. Structural reforms are urgently needed to achieve this goal.
That's a challenging task. Reforming the debt market is complex and involves multiple stakeholders. What are the potential implications if these reforms are not implemented?
Without these reforms, India might struggle to finance its growth plans, potentially leading to a slowdown in economic development. The report suggests that this could have broader implications for global economic growth as well.
I noticed there's a mention of Business Today airing on BBC News HD. Is there any specific news or segment we should be aware of?
The context provided indicates that Business Today is a roundup of the day's market news. It airs at multiple times on BBC News HD. While there's no specific news mentioned, it suggests a comprehensive coverage of market activities.
That's useful for listeners who want to stay updated on market news. Perhaps we can wrap up by reflecting on the common themes across these stories.
One common theme is the rapid development and deployment of AI technology. We saw this in the stories about Google, Meta, and Firmus Technologies.
And another theme is the significant impact of infrastructure and capital markets on economic growth, as seen in the stories about Saudi Aramco and India's debt market.
Exactly. These stories highlight the complex interplay between technology, infrastructure, and financial markets in driving economic activities.
Well, that's all for today's discussion. Thank you, Sonia.
Thank you, Simon. It's been a pleasure discussing these important stories with you.